Hi and welcome to another video. Due to a technical issue, I'm afraid there's no Jodel flying in this one. During the week we have managed to sort out the problem and it will be a normal video again next week. Well, I say normal video, or what is a normal video, but what I have got this time is a variety of bits and pieces from Nayland last weekend, which actually turned out to be a fairly busy weekend.
In this video I stopped the tractor while mowing at the bottom of the hill in order to let Martin land, and then, having cut the runway, I go to start the Jodel and she doesn't want to start.
Just the click. Ready?
I went over to the airfield early in order to cut the grass, but before I got the tractor out and got started, we had a visitor. We knew that Keith was going to fly in because he'd phoned for PPR and was going to meet Ken at the airfield.
Morning.
Good morning and welcome to Nayland.
Morning.
Good morning, as I say, welcome to Nayland.
Thank you.
It turned out to be quite a busy morning. Matt was there to do a check flight in his kit box. I'd made Keith a cup of tea while we were waiting for Ken to arrive, and then went out in order to film Matt's takeoff. I'm afraid we're still having to weave around rabbit holes. It wasn't long after that Duncan took off in the D-18. Matt came back from his permit check flight. I do keep trying to capture the steepness of the middle section of the runway, but I'm never sure I actually do. Having met up with Ken, Keith took off in order to fly back to his small strip in Stoke, and I'm sitting on the tractor waiting to start work on the runway. I told you it was a busy day, but I saw Wiz go over the top in his Bulldog and closely followed by Martin. So I took the tractor down to the very bottom of the strip and sat underneath the big trees and waited for them to land. I thought that was the best place, because if I was trying to go up the side of the strip, then that would be really difficult for them. Although I was tucked well in, I did think that this was actually slightly closer than I was expecting. But hopefully that gives you some idea of how steep the slope is. I did stop mowing in order to make Wiz a cup of tea, and once he'd had that, he took off in order to return to Hunden and it disappeared over the brow of the hill. But it's okay, because he came up the other side without a problem, unlike me, because I had a problem.
Simply put,
the Jodel did not want to start.
Fuel is off, magnetos are off, and the key is out, and I'm just going to try and see what happens with the starter. You can bet your bottom dollar that today it will go.
Before you tell me that the fuel was turned off and the magnetos were off, I have to say this was filmed the next day in order so that you could see and hear exactly what was going on.
Ready?
As I'd worked hard and spent a long time on the tractor, John took pity on me and offered me a trip round in the RV in order to see what their handiwork looked like from above. We flew out for a while and returned overhead Ipswich. John wanted to fly overhead his house in order to tell Sue that he was nearly finished. The runway is looking good, even if I say it myself. We followed the normal 2 reservoir turning points for the circuit, but I have to say I'm always very impressed by the fact that the envelope of the RV4 is as large as it is. One moment we're doing 200 mile an hour and the next it's as if we're standing still when we're doing 80 in the circuit, and it's very slippery, which is why John has to fly a completely different approach to the one I do in the Jodel. Very much lower and flatter than mine, but if he lowers the nose by even a degree or two, that airspeed immediately increases. and the runway is quite short.
Well, thank you very much.
Well, I know it wasn't what we set out to do, but we've had a...
We did get to fly.
Yes.
Good.
Something at least. It's... Oh well, at least we've got our feet off the ground.
Yeah, and that was good.